According to a U.S. News and World Report article published June 1st of this year, the May ADP National Employment Report shows American companies have added 200,000+ jobs in 4 of the 5 months of 2017 and 9 of the last 12 months, for a total of 1.8 million jobs in the last year in those months alone. Would you like one of those jobs? My name is Sarah Knapp, and as a business professional with over a decade of management and hiring experience, I am well versed in conducting interviews. My record is 113 interviews in 2 hours, and I was supervising 2 individuals conducting interviews of their own, and they had over 100. So when I say I am well versed in conducting interviews, I am very well versed in conducting interviews. So what are we recruiters looking for? We're looking for someone with communication skills. According to an article in Bloomberg published January 5th of 2015, Bloomberg Businessweek polled 1,320 MBA recruiters from July to September for the 2014 Business School rankings. Recruiters from 24 different industries were asked to pick to 5 skills out of a list of 14. At 68%, communication was the most sought after skill. So what are we talking about when we talk about communication skills? We're talking about the ability to actually interact with the person who's doing the interview. We're looking for somebody who is going to actually engage and answer questions and ask questions. We don't need one-sentence answers. We want to actually have a conversation with that person. So we're looking for somebody also with personality. We want somebody who's going to demonstrate that they're actually interested in what we're saying and what they're saying by showing that they have personality. Someone who has a wooden look on their face is not somebody who is going to get the job. Somebody who demonstrates that they have personality by smiling is somebody who is more likely to get the job. We want somebody who's got confidence. We want somebody who's going to demonstrate that they have confidence in not only what they're saying, but in themselves. So we want somebody who's going to bring presence and show and demonstrate that they have the ability to get things done. So when we start talking about personality and we start talking about confidence, what we're really talking about is body language. So at this point, I would ask somebody from the audience to please volunteer, and we're going to demonstrate what proper body language in an interview actually is. So, according to an article in Business News Daily published January 15th of this year, a study done by Career Builder found almost 70% of hiring managers said that one of the biggest body language mistakes that someone can make in an interview is failing to maintain eye contact. So it's really important that when somebody is interviewing you, that you are actually engaging with them and actually looking at them and meeting their eyes. So you need to make sure, however, that you don't take it too far and get to a point where you are actually staring. So if you get to that point, you are demonstrating that you are an aggressive individual and that you are attempting to intimidate the person who is actually interviewing you. And that's not the impression that you want to make. So it is up to you as the person who is actually being interviewed to break off eye contact. In the meantime, make sure that while you are engaging with the person who is interviewing you, that you are doing everything you can to maintain eye contact. So leaning forward versus leaning back. Some people are going to tell you that it's important for you to lean forward, and some people are going to tell you that it's important for you to sit up straight. Others are going to say, no, lean back, it demonstrates confidence. So what I'm going to tell you is that actually you need to do all 3. Make sure that when you are engaging with the person and interacting with them, that you are leaning forward when it's something where you're demonstrating that you actually are caring about what it is that they're saying. You're demonstrating that you're interested in what it is that they're telling you. Lean back when you are telling about like who you are, because that's going to show that you have confidence and that you're saying, this is what I have the ability to do. If the topic is something that's neutral, you're going to stand straight up. So it's not something where you need to be bouncing back and forth between all 3 positions. It needs to be a natural process because, again, this is demonstrating that you have personality. So everybody is going to be nervous during an interview. So you're going to demonstrate nervous behaviors. Whether you have done 1 interview or you've done 30,000, you are going to be nervous in this interview because you want this job. And so you should have, at the very least, nervous anticipation. So depending upon your level of nervousness is how many nervous behaviors going to demonstrate. The worst one that you can demonstrate is that your hands won't stop shaking. So I have had more than one person go to an interview and this is how bad their hands are shaking, and they can't stop. So what you need to do, if your hands are shaking that bad, is hide it. So what you can do is grab your legs. You don't need to put your hands in a fist trying to make sure that to hide it. This is going to actually demonstrate, again, how nervous you are. Your knuckles are going to show white. Okay? If you put your hands on your legs, however, and just lightly grip, then you are going to hide how bad your hands are shaking. This also, because you are that nervous, is going to hide any sweat from your palms. and allow you to just slide that off so that when it's time for you to shake their hand at the end of the interview, you're not going to hand them a wet hand. So we talk about these things with body language, and you may stay seated. We talk about these things with body language because you have 5 minutes to make an impression. So in the same study that Career Builder did, where they talked about eye contact and that 70% of people said that this is what's important to them, those same companies reported that over half of them know within the first 5 minutes whether or not they are going to actually hire the person. I give as an example my previous statement. I did 113 interviews in 2 hours. Not a single one of those interviews lasted longer than 5 minutes. We knew within 5 minutes whether or not this was somebody that we wanted to actually extend to a longer interview. We can cut people out that fast. So once you're past that 5-minute interview mark, what is the important thing that you need to do? You need to know what this company is about. You need to know the company culture, and you need to be able to speak to the company and the company culture and use their words. If you don't do any research whatsoever on the company or their culture, then that's going to cast you out for the interview. You're going to blow it right then and there. So what did we talk about today? We talked about what can you do to make sure that you have the skills that the recruiters are looking for. They're looking for communication skills, they're looking for personality, they're looking for confidence. We're looking for someone who's going to have good body language. And so what do we mean by good body language? You're going to maintain eye contact. You're going to make sure that you don't just sit there woodenly. You're going to engage by leaning forward, leaning back. And you're going to hide as many nervous behaviors as you possibly can. When you do all of that, you're going to nail it within the first 5 minutes. And then all you've got to do is speak confidently about yourself. And remember, they're not going to ask a single question that you don't know the answer to, because they're asking you about you.